You know, they keep telling us we're not real smart. Except we keep being proven correct over and over again. And sometimes you got to wonder, who's the smart one? The people that are being proven correct over and over and over again? Or the ones that are being proven wrong over and over again? But yet want to tell you, let's change your world because you don't know what you're doing. Let's teach you. Let's learn you. Let's show you what to do. I'm Caleb Smith. This is the Tradesman. We're going to get into some crazy, crazy, crazy stuff today about what people are saying themselves about themselves while telling you they're not saying it and that it's not true if you say it. Let's get into it. So first off, after all of the COVID debate and everything that we went through, we are constantly being told that it was just they didn't have the information. They just didn't know any better and that it's okay. But then as is getting proved by constant releases from Fauci's amazing, amazing diaries, thank you, Fauci, for being so detailed, there was a whole confrontation between RFK Jr. and Dana Bash on CNN, and it was wild how she tried to basically say, no, we didn't do any of that stuff. We didn't know this information this time. We weren't trying to drive anyone to be scared, except then someone mentioned the fact that the chyrons in CNN were constantly updating anytime someone died from supposedly COVID, and how all these numbers were inflated. Everyone was trying to jack it up to scare people more and more and more, especially the news media, and RFK has to come out and say, no, you're a liar. Now, watching him try to argue with her was interesting. He did a fantastic job considering the guy doesn't have much of a voice, which I feel bad for him, but he did do a great job. But here is the point that I want to say. We're constantly being told, no, you can't trust yourself. You must trust this expert and this expert and this expert who are changing all of the norms that we've ever experienced in life because you're too stupid to know any better. And they come to find out we're actually correct every single time. And now it's the same case as they kept saying, well, no, if we just accepted people that were transgender, if we accepted these people that are going through these troubles and allow them to have the surgery, then they'll be better, except that somehow the statistics prove that they still have suicide rates at the same level after the transition that they have before, and in some cases may even have higher suicidal rates. Because we're not fixing the problem, we're just appeasing them, I guess, in the most horrible and most terrible way. Well, this goes to what we've been saying for a long time. And I've been mentioning too, and honestly, I mentioned the apostate prophet on this channel. I mentioned all these people and talking about the invasion that just happened in Spain. Well, it wasn't in Spain, it was on the African coast, but in a territory controlled by Spain, where something like 80,000 people are in the city and 60,000 basically young military age men that are Muslims just come straight in and take over. And how we're supposed to not be scared or bothered by this. And in fact, there was a debate in Oxford, and I'll bring it up for you, a debate in Oxford, and the topic was this. It said, this house believes that the West is right to be suspicious of Islam. And that was the debate topic, whether they should be suspicious of Islam. Ask yourself, should you be suspicious of Islam? Now, stop and think for a second. I understand that a lot of horrible things have been done under multiple different religions' ideals. However, there is one religion that has spread through violence, domination by force, whenever it's possible, and that is Islam. Now, as much as people want to defend it and say it's a method of peace and all these other things, and they retcon everything. If you were to read even the stories, and it's some of the stories that are in the Quran are wild. I can't even talk about some of these that are so wild that are in there. And yet we're supposed to be retcon and say, well, that's this, then this, and this, and it's beyond the pale. But here's my point. They always tell you that you're stupid and ignorant for not knowing any better, that they're so highly intelligent and they know better than you do, until they finally freely come out and admit it. They do. Well, as the debate was going on, a young lady by the name of Arwa, and I'm not even going to try her last name, but we'll just call her Arwa. She was a Palestinian student there, and she is serving as president of the Oxford Union during the Islamic debate. Well, she basically threatened the other speakers with the mob outside and said, just be happy that we're not the angry ones like out there. Admitting admitting the mob out there, outside, would, in her words, literally cook them. These people, want their religion to spread, and they will stop at nothing, whether that takes lying, which is okay according to them, cheating, stealing, whatever they have to do to make it work, or killing you in the process. And if we are not awake to this thing, and we allow them to tell you, no, it's okay, it's a peaceful thing, they're not really like that, it's okay. That's not true. They've literally shown multiple different times, and I can't even bring up how many different times they've shown how the Muslim Brotherhood was trying to invade in all the Western countries, how all these different other people are saying, this is how you do it, this is how you win them over, this is how you do these things, and you set up these Muslim centers everywhere. We are not compatible. We know we're not compatible. We see that we're not compatible. But what they tell you is that you're not supposed to trust your eyes, and we're supposed to be okay with it. And then now we're in a weird world where the Democratic Socialists of America are tying in to the Islamists in our country to join forces to defeat us. And so basically now they have this horrible religion coming in, and they're tying it in with, we'll give you free things, just trying to make it palatable. Well, you know what? In this channel, we don't want free things. We want a free country. We want free speech. We want the right to be able to work and do the things that we need to make our families better. We want the opportunities, not the handouts. Because handouts are not going to give us anything. Opportunities will give us everything. With an opportunity, you can show the character that you are. With an opportunity, you can show the person and the type that you are. And the problem is when you go up against these cultures and they're given the opportunities, ask yourself, what opportunities are they taking? Are they taking the opportunity to take advantage of the system? Are they taking the opportunity to use violence whenever the choice is given to them? And like I said in my last video, with the gun to your head, in a sense, that they're allowed to do all the violent things. They're allowed to do all the horrible things. But if you try to do anything in protest to defend yourself, you're the bad guy. I was actually honestly surprised that this guy that stopped or participated in stopping the shooter at the In-N-Out situation in, Idaho? That he wasn't excoriated by the left. And apparently he is being somewhat excoriated by the left, because how dare a good man with a gun stop a bad guy with a gun? And their point was, well, he didn't really do anything to stop him. Except for one thing, and this is how the perspective changes on everything. While he was shooting, the shooter had to duck and cover. So let me see. Left, this is what you want? You want someone to be able to go car to car and shooting people, which I guess he was going after Teslas. That's something we'll find out. We'll know more about it shortly. But you want him to go freely, car to car, car to car, car to car, car to car, with no nothing. And you think that's better than someone shooting at him where he has to duck and cover and shoot back, where there's resistance. Apparently he was taken down stopped between this guy and an off-duty retired police officer. Or I guess he's like a volunteer guy. The guy ended up doing a self-inflicted wound. But if he thought he could continue doing his rampage of killing people, do you think he would have stopped? But no, a good guy with a gun doesn't work. Stop listening to the garbage on the other side and listen to the truth and acknowledge and say, you know what, I have enough brain cells and common sense to know 1 + 1 = 2. And when they try to lie to me and tell me that it's 3, I'm not going to listen. And that's what makes us better. That's what makes us become better. And we have to have hope that we can be better. We can do better in this country. And we can push back this garbage and get rid of it. And if it has to come from us tradesmen to do it, then that's what we will do. We will continue to push and do better because we know that we can. Give us the opportunities and we'll take them. Thank you so much for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. I had another subscriber, so I had to raise the count to 135. I really appreciate that. It means a lot. It really, really, really does. To encourage me to keep going and encourage us to do more as a people. I want this to be an encouragement, a decisive factor in what you do to help our country. Thank you so much for watching. Get some rest, because I know if you're like me, you probably need it.